Low energy football is awful. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pawlawski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. I know it has been a strange year this year, and with the pandemic, with politics, with everything going on, I am just grateful that we have a football season. But I'm going to tell you as a former player that low-energy football is awful. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like the normal game. I'm going to go into that in a second. If you love football content, if you love talking about the game, if you love learning about the X's and O's in football, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. That way you get notified every time we have new content coming out. Please give me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you what you would like to learn about the game. And give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get started talking about low-energy football. I'm going to do this by telling a little story, and it's about a former teammate of mine that I had in the Arena League. Back then, not every game was televised, and so we would have the big national game once every couple weeks. We'd have local games, every other week, something like that, but you'd have games that weren't televised at all. But when we get the big national game, I have a former teammate that would come up to me every single time and be like, I am ready to go, dog. We are on national TV. And it always struck me back then that he's a pro athlete. He's getting paid to play football. If he's only ready to go when we're playing on national TV, what happens the rest of the time when we're not playing on TV? As a pro, you have to be able to get yourself up for every single game, whether you're playing on TV, whether you're at home, whether you're away. Doesn't matter what's going on, injury, no injury. You have to be able to get yourself up for a game emotionally and play like a pro. My college coach, Bruce Snyder, used to talk about it, and he'd call them lunch pail guys. You show up with your lunch pail and you do the work. And so whether your emotional level is here or whether it's down here, you got to show up. And so that brings me to both NFL and college football right now. As you watch these games and you're seeing the teams that are out there playing, you can tell the teams that are lunch pail guys. You can tell the guys that show up, love playing the game, and that have great team chemistry. For instance, you watch the Rams play right now, last week versus Dallas, this week versus Philly, and they have high energy. You can tell that team likes each other and that they have good team chemistry because they're able to find a way, in spite of no fans in the stands, in spite of not having that energy from the stadium around you. And it's when a stadium's going off and people are excited and there's lots of fans cheering, that buzz is electric and you can feel it. But in spite of not having that, Rams are finding a way to play at a very high level. That tells you that A, the team has great chemistry, but B, they like each other and they're lunch pail guys. They've figured out a way how to show up in spite of not having your normal surroundings of having a big-time crowd. The big one used to be, and I heard guys talk about it when I was playing in the league, is the Monday night game, big-time Monday night game. And for me as a quarterback, and I think most quarterbacks, you want to stay level. You want to stay right here. If you ever get too hyped and you start making bad reads, bad throws, and you look like an amateur. If you're too low, then you can't get yourself grooved in to make those reads. You need a certain level of energy, anxiety, pressure, whatever that is, to get yourself up to that test-taking level. But you want to stay there. You don't need to get super hyped. But a lot of guys, defensive guys especially, get pumped for those Monday night games, for those big specialty games. In college, when you're playing nationally ranked teams, if you're playing a rival game, guys get cranked for those. It's not about, as a pro, if you're consistent, it's not about just getting up for one game. If you do that, you don't have a consistent season. You have to be able to get yourself ready to go for every single game you play. And so now I'm talking to you quarterbacks and young athletes at home in that don't get hyped for your rival. Don't get hyped for that big weekly TV game if you have one in high school. What you need to do is figure out a way to get yourself to that level where you can perform at your peak every single game. And that means bringing your focus to practice every single day. If you learn how to practice, if you play at a high level in practice, then that's going to carry forward into games. And so My message is I'm amazed and I'm impressed with these teams without the energy, without fans in the stands, with this odd year, who can show up on Saturdays or Sundays right now and play extremely well at a high level. That shows good emotional maturity, and it shows some mental toughness that they can get that done. I also want to tell you guys at home, figure out a way to practice at a level that sets yourself up so that you can play at that high level every week. Whether you're on TV or whether you got one fan in the stands, it doesn't matter. As an athlete, as a teammate, you've got to bring your A game. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring that bell. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I try to answer every single comment that we get into the channel. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed what we talked about today. And again, give me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to hear about, and we'll do more of that. Appreciate you watching. I will catch you next time. Just wanted to hopefully improve some football skills and talk about the game that I love. Talk to you soon.